All right, this is episode 163. We're going to do this one on crypto. It's airing April 10th, Building Your Life podcast with John Browning. Here we go in 3 seconds. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Building Your Life podcast with John Browning. My name is Doug Sandler from Turnkey Podcast Productions. John, welcome back to another exciting episode.
I know, and it is going to be exciting.
This is a good one. I mean, not that they all aren't good, but this is one that it just seems like so many people are talking about. Whether you understand crypto or blockchain technology or any of that stuff, it is a subject that is just swirling around. The market has really tanked on these stocks, and then I watch it go back up and I watch it go back down, and it's down like 60% from where it was just a couple of years ago. So what do we want to talk about crypto that would be fascinating and alluring to those that are in our listening community, John?
Well, it's just a polarizing subject, right? I mean, if you say you love it, people say you're dumb. If you say you hate it, and people say you're dumb, right?
Well, what's interesting about it is it's kind of like the Amazons and Apples of the current day. It's like, oh man, I don't want to get into this because I don't want, meaning from an investment standpoint, because I don't want to lose my shirt, but I don't want to not be in it because I'm afraid that I'm going to miss out. So what do? I put like a couple dollars every month into crypto. Not enough at all to make a difference in anything, but hey, if I bought $100 in Amazon stock when it first came out, I think it was something like, I don't even remember what the numbers are. It was some crazy number. If I did nothing more than invest $100 or $1,000 and then go away, I'd have $1 million or something like that. So how do you know what to do when it comes to crypto? What would your opinion be on this, John?
I like what you do. Frankly, I do it. People were like, "Well, are you invested in crypto?" I said, "Yeah, kind of." Okay, so I like especially when it's down like in the. I was not anywhere. I actually had some and sold it up around like when I was getting into the 60s, about the time that Goldman Sachs came out and said that they were going to make it available to the retail investor. And then a couple other firms came out and said they were going to do funds and make it available in 401ks and retirement plans. I sold like everything I had.
Well, as soon as you see stuff like that, you think, well, has it hit mainstream, and is it at a point where we want to get into it rather than it being this innovation curve that we're going to get in on the bottom and we're going to see it go and go and go and go. And I never want to sell it because I always want to hang on to stock like this. How do you determine like what you advise the people that are speaking to you? And again, this is all just your opinion, but I'm curious what your opinion is on this.
Yeah, you're right. This is not investment advice. I always say that every podcast. I'm like a broken record. This is just information, an opinion for you to use. But so, how do you know? I mean, my basic rule of thumb is as soon as something like blockchain, Bitcoin, crypto is suddenly touted by major Wall Street firms and becomes more available to the average retail investor, at that first time that happens, it's probably time to exit, because it's this euphoria and you're kind of at that peak point. Just as a general rule, it's not 100% accurate, but as a general rule. But then on the flip side, is very important, right? Because in my opinion, crypto is not going anywhere. It serves a great purpose. And I think many people don't even understand what purpose crypto serves. And there's more than one. And there's more than one coin. I'm putting air quotes in there.
Yep.
There's Bitcoin, there's Ethereum. Bitcoin and Ethereum are merging. There's Cardano. There's a gazillion, right? It seems like other little tiny coins. Now, those smaller coins, I tend to stay away from. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano. Yeah, I mean, really interesting because they do different things, not the least of which has nothing to do with buying and selling goods. It has more to do with the idea that you could do a extremely secure contract with you using the technology behind Ethereum.
Right. Well, isn't that are you talking about blockchain technology that created the whole security, the encrypted side or whatever the technology is behind it? I have no idea. I'm a podcaster.
Yeah, well, no, and neither do I. When it gets into that, I don't either. But I will say that when crypto was kind of first being quote unquote invented,
Mm-hmm.
that was the place to be. What were the companies that were involved in the technology behind it, which is blockchain? And it was surprising at the time when one of the biggest players in that was Bank of New York, right? And IBM and some of the other big players that were, you wouldn't expect to be on sort of the cutting edge anymore, but they were. And the reason that the banks are so interested in it is because of their security concerns, as they should be. And so when you start talking about that and getting deep, deep, deep into the weeds of it all, you realize that there's a lot more to it. And the idea of putting some, and I always talk about portion control,
Yeah.
putting some in your overall portfolio, but also considering the different ways to invest in it other than directly in the coins is also an interesting topic and something that you should discuss with your financial advisor, right?
So
What's right for you?
when it comes to your clients and somebody coming to you, is there a better time that somebody should be even considering whether it's blockchain or crypto or Ethereum or any of the different, the popular ones that are out there? How do you know at what point in somebody's life cycle it would make more sense than others to put crypto into their portfolio?
Yeah, I mean, frankly, to me, and a lot of people would disagree with me on this. I'll just put that out there. A lot of people would say as you get closer to retirement, you should not own any crypto. I'm not so sure that's the case. I think again, portion control, what portion of your portfolio is in, is important. Certainly, when you're younger, you can afford a little bit more volatility. So maybe a bigger portion of your portfolio when you're younger. But even as you're older, the idea of having a crypto portion of your portfolio still makes sense because they're still devaluing the US dollar and they're certainly devaluing other currencies around the world. And they do that by
Replacing.
see, yeah, what we talk about a lot, right? The putting more money into the system. They print more money. uh Bitcoin goes through its next halving, which is how many, right now, I think I could be wrong on this. Nobody yell at me. I think right now it's 900,000 or something tokens can be created each day. Well, I think in about a year from now, it goes to like 400 and something, like 450. So every time they do that, they're actually restricting the supply, not increasing the supply. That just makes it more valuable. Okay, now I always say that said, and I give the opposite side of the story, right? When you're investing in cryptocurrency in particular, you have to understand there's no sales, there's no revenue, there's no CEO that's a great leader that's gonna, go on to the next thing. So it is not a stock, it is not a company, and it's not a commodity. There's nothing that you can see, touch, and feel in your hands like gold,
Mm-hmm.
copper, all the other commodities that we talk about. So you have to understand what your risks are and understand what it is and understand what each coin actually does. But as a portion of your portfolio, not investment advice here, but as a portion of your portfolio, no matter what your age, it can make a lot of sense.
If you had to roll the dice and look down the horizon, 10 or 15 or 20 years, and someone was asking now, what should I do? You know, how do you even begin to advise them as far as should crypto be a part of it? It sounds like it should be, um, but it also is based upon your tolerance for risk in there too.
Yes.
If you're going to worry about it every night when you go to bed, oh my God, I have 10% of my portfolio in crypto. That's probably not something for you then. But it seems like I don't want to miss out on the next Apple or Amazon or FedEx or any of the things that have completely exploded after over the last couple of decades.
Yeah, and it really does just comes down to portion control, what you can handle in terms of risk, and being realistic that it may be the next Amazon, but maybe you got the wrong one. Maybe
Yeah.
it's, maybe it's not, because for every Amazon out there, there's probably 10 that didn't work out, right?
Yeah.
So I love it when people say, "Oh, yeah, I invested in Amazon when it was $8 a share." Well, awesome for you. What else did you invest in during that time? Well, they also invested in like these 10 other stocks that didn't do so well. We at the water cooler, we only talk about our winners, right?
Yeah, so true, so true. So, have you ever seen I've never seen any cryptocurrency. You can't physically see it, and
Nope.
you can't, and I've never spent anything using. I've never used it to buy or sell anything. So, uh, I don't even know what it is, other than just it's
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 the
air.
idea.
It's air.
It's an idea, as so many things are, right? You're a professor in college, right? It's just the idea of a circle. Is this a circle? No, it's just the idea of a circle. Well, that's Bitcoin, right? It's the idea of something that holds value now and in the future. But one of the downfalls of it is right now it's very hard to spend, right? I mean, it's not like
Right,
if I
right.
go to the store and I've got $1 in my pocket, I can spend it right now. I can't go to just the 7-Eleven or pick the store, or I think Amazon actually might have a way to spend Bitcoin, but very few places can you go and spend a Bitcoin, right?
So
Very different.
is crypto the next currency? Is crypto the next banknote? We don't know, but I can tell you, if you want to get more information about John's opinion, he would be happy to talk to you about it. Just text life, that's LIFE, to 321-421-5213 right on your smartphone. That's text life to 321-421-5213. We'll make sure we put a link in the show notes so you have access to it. You'll get John's digital business card. That'll be how you can get in touch with him and figure out where in your portfolio something like cryptocurrency might exist. John, any final words of wisdom before we part today?
That's it. If you want to hear a little bit more about what I thought, maybe I think it's been about a year ago. You look back in the podcast. It's called "Is Crypto Your Kryptonite?" I think is what we called it, or something like that. And things were very different back then. So hey, I don't even remember what I said. So you can make fun of me if I said something different, but I'm guessing I didn't.
All right, text life to 321-421-5213. John, thanks again for being here. We'll see you again next week.
All right, we'll see you.